Hello, YouTube, and welcome to another exciting episode of Slotted In There. It's episode 4, and therefore you are dealing with the 4 men of the apocalypse in this episode because you've got Conquest, which is a bit of me. I'm pretty good at, Horizon, shooting with a bow and arrow and all that lot, riding on my horse. Of course, we've got War, which is the games maestro, I think, because, he likes to put his head to head, doesn't he, battling and all that lot. And then I was going to make a joke about famine and death before I introduced the other 2 guys, but it feels like one of us is actually feeling like death today, and that is Damion. And unfortunately, he's not with us this episode. So let me welcome Tim and Damion from Wish.com.
Hello.
Hi, Damion from Wish.com.
Hi, Tim.
How are we feeling this week, gentlemen?
A
bit better than Damion.
Normal Damion from, I don't know, Amazon or something.
Yeah, all good. All good.
All good. All right, jolly good then. So any news, gentlemen, before we get into the program?
Negative.
Nothing
news happened.
Did you hear that there was the shocking BBC news that someone was killed walking through a forest this week?
No,
I didn't.
No, you didn't. Did you not hear it? It's because an acorn fell on their head. They're very heavy, those acorns.
What?
BBC micro acorn.
Oh my God!
Let's get on with the show.
Is this what I've signed up for?
Yeah. This is what I have to put up with every week. Welcome to hell.
God.
You love it. This week in games, what we've been playing this week. Hopefully it's some games that you will enjoy that we've been playing, or you'll look at it and go, that's rubbish. Maybe that's Tim's option this week. We'll find out. It was pretty poor last week, wasn't it, to be fair? But we'll see, won't we, if you like it or not. And let's put, Sean on the spot today, and you can go first with your game that you clearly played. And what is it?
I've been playing nothing officially. However, my friend and colleague Damion has been playing Dead Island, and I think he enjoyed it a little bit more than he let on. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Benoi, a beautiful island that has recently become dead popular. In this game you take control of one of 4 characters. Each has their own perks and skills, so you should be able to pick the one that suits your playstyle best. You can play this campaign single player or with up to 3 friends. Alternatively, you can interact with other online players in the world, but from personal experience, I'd say stick to people you know or venture through this on your own. With all that said, let's get into the decaying meat of this game. I'll just state that this is a first-person action game with RPG elements, so a lot of looting and searching will reap rewards during the playthrough. The control method suits both mouse and keyboard or controller. I found the former to be the better option, but each to their own, right? Anywho, moving on. You awake in the hotel after a night of partying as depicted in the opening sequence, and it's at this moment you start to realise there is something very wrong going on. The story unfolds over several acts, each one a segment of both narrative and side quests where you will be introduced to additional NPCs who add to the lore and provide helpful assistance with items, upgrades, or just stone cold cash. There are multiple human enemies and zombie types which at times can make some of the segments more challenging, but that's what we want from a game. It makes it more interesting and pushes us to change tactics too. Weapons can be found, purchased, upgraded, and modified. All you need to do is have the right blueprint and a crafting bench, not to mention the right crafting parts too. The story is very well paced and it takes quite a while to complete, so this isn't a quick 5-hour playthrough like most modern titles. With plenty of achievements to unlock and fact files to find, large scale maps to explore, which do actually include vehicles, this should keep you entertained for several evenings. And if you want to get all the achievements unlocked, be prepared for multiple playthroughs. The graphics are decent, the maps are well set out, and the controls are spot on. Although this won't run on a potato device, some mid-spec toasters will easily play it at full fidelity. If you like open world, looting, shooting and crafting games set on an apocalyptic flesh muncher infested sunny paradise island, then this game will massage your hoo-has for hours. Currently Steam have a bundle with Dead Island Riptide and Dead Island Retro Revenge available, and I would suggest snapping it up whilst it's still available.
You there, mate? Hello? Hello? Oh, God damn it.
So, Sean, have you played Dead Island?
I have. I've played the single player campaign and I've had a few multiplayer games with a few of you guys, and it is a right bunch of fun. Really enjoyed it. I mean, what's not to enjoy? I mean, you're on a tropical island, you've got zombies around you, you've got you can modify your weapons so you can add additions to them and little buffs to them, and you get a really satisfying feeling when you land a good hit on a zombie. It's got that oomph appeal
Say
to
it like
it.
you mean it.
It
Dismember a
feels,
zombie.
yeah, but it feels solid. It feels solid when you get a good whack to the side of the head. So yeah, absolutely, 100% recommend this game.
I can't remember. Does Dead Island have guns? I can't remember whether it was just hack and slash or whether there was like projectile weaponry.
That's a good question. It's been a while since I've actually played it.
I seem to recall we played a bit of Dead Island 2, and I don't recall there being any projectiles in that either.
Yeah, you and I went through a few levels of that, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't actually know. If you do know, let us know in the comments below what we don't. Thank you very much.
I couldn't tell you if there's any weapons because I don't think I got out the hotel corridor at the start of the game because that was enough for me. But yeah. So anyway, Tim, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've gone, as always, in a completely different direction. I've been playing a little game that's, I think, got quite a bit of traction. There was a recent update to it, which unfortunately I haven't included in my little bit of B-roll coming up, but it's Minion Masters. Welcome to Minion Masters. That's how the game greets you. As the name would suggest, you have minions and you have masters. Here I'm selecting a master. Each master has its own unique set of abilities. And then you can select from a whole plethora of minions. There are quite a lot to pick from, so you want to be trying to build a deck that can fight against just about anything you're likely to come up against. You will pick out your own favorites and work on that over time. Now, as you place your cards down, they will advance towards your opponent's tower. As you put those minions down, you will see that they capture the bridge. The bridge is turned red here. That means that my opponent has captured the bridges, so I want to turn that blue by having my minions walk across them. Like so. At the bottom of the screen, we have mana. This is how much is available to spend at any given moment. It charges up over time. As you capture the bridges, or just over time, your ability meter will charge up and unlock some of your master's abilities. Here I'm going for an endgame situation where I've put down my ult, which is this huge dragon up here. The dragon is super tanky, and I will be backing that up with a healer. This game may look a little bit familiar to some of you, and that's probably because you've been playing something along the lines of Clash Royale on your mobile phone. It is effectively the same sort of game, albeit with slightly nicer graphics and side-on. Now, as my dragon pushes forwards, I will be capturing the bottom bridge, and then hopefully we can get the last few hits on their tower. At the moment, I'm losing in terms of tower health, but I'm pretty confident now that I've got this strong lineup moving forwards that I can take them out. Especially now that I've got that Harbinger on the field. Now you can play this as just a single player game, so you're just fighting against an opponent, randomly chosen, or you can choose to fight against someone that you know. Or you can play in doubles. So a quick look here at what doubles looks like. So I'm just playing with random people this time. Obviously, you can team up with a friend and take on two opponents. The rules remain exactly the same, but now you end up with an awful lot more minions on the field, as you can see here. However, that doesn't stop you from smashing your opponent's tower to pieces and claiming victory.
So basically, it's a card game, Tim. That's what you brought to the table this week. Card game.
Pretty
Not a
much.
card
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a card game. It's a game with minions. You just happen to have those minions represented by a card. When you play the card, they become minions.
Sounds awfully like a card game to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
It's
posh
not-
man
there's-
solitaire, isn't it, really?
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You guys just don't understand, do you?
We don't know.
I'll play either one of you at this game, and I will thrash you.
What happens when you get
And-
21? Do you get like your money
It's
and a
not
half back?
pontoon or blackjack. It is. Oh my god! You know
mean,
what?
clearly-
You guys move along. I don't care anymore.
I mean, it clearly is, isn't it? I mean, it clearly is. It's a
Yeah.
card game.
It's a card game.
I just play interesting, different games. It's not my fault if you guys don't understand. Yes, they are interesting. Fine.
Speaking of
why
interesting
did-
games.
Yeah, why don't you tell us what you've been playing, Chris, so that I can poop all over that?
Yeah, okay, I will. So this week, I've been playing a lovely little indie game once again called The Last Campfire.
This is the last campfire.
So The Last Campfire is a lovely animated game. Again, it's not too long in my mind. It's about 5 or 6 hours. I think actually it took me 7 hours if you're sort of exploring and going around it. It's a puzzle game. It's got lots of little puzzles. And basically the story is that you're on a little journey and you don't know what the journey is. But it's basically you're trying to get to something called The Last Campfire. And along your way, you find other people. And these people have got lost on the journey and sort of frozen and stuck there. So what you need to do is you need to solve these little puzzles to give them a bit of light, to wake them up and sort of help them on their journey. And you find out little stories of why they got stuck on their journey and where they were going and why they sort of stopped there and couldn't keep going. And it's very good. And you've got about, I think it was 3 or 4 different levels in there. You free so many around a little campfire and then they let you extend onto another area. So it's very drawn together like that, and there's some big set pieces with monsters in there as well and sort of mysteries of what's going on. It's a bit of a puzzle game.
The stranger had dropped their mask. Ember knew they spoke the truth. The path goes nowhere, but we sail on regardless.
It plays beautifully. I really enjoyed it. It's quite emotional in places, especially towards the end when you find out what's going on. And yeah, it's a very lovely game. It's very stylized. Again, it's another one I really highly recommend to play, especially if you're into puzzles, because some of them are quite tricky. I couldn't even do some of them. It taxes your mind for a while. There's also a mode, once you do complete it, you can go back and just do the puzzles in the game if you wanted to, so that's quite handy for a bit of replayability once you sort of know the story if you don't want to do the story again. But it's a lovely game to experience. So guys, what did you think to this game? Isn't it a gorgeous, lovely little game you can sink your teeth into?
Looks like a kid's game.
What platform was it on? Was it on PC?
I think it's on a multi-platform. I was playing it on the Switch.
I was going to say, it looks
handheld.
very much like a Switch game to me. It looked nice enough. The animation was nice. There was nice, colourful, characters and sprites in there. But the gameplay for me was just not my cup of tea, unfortunately. But it looked nice.
No. Well, we
Yeah,
know
in
from
your face,
videos.
Chris.
I mean, it wasn't killing zombies and blowing stuff up, granted. But, not everybody wants that.
At least it didn't have cards.
It didn't have cards. It wasn't a card game. That's for sure. I mean,
I mean, you can just get a
I know.
pack of cards.
you need to
can't you?
try
Play
harder,
cards.
Tim. Try harder for next episode.
Fine. Well, next episode I'm going to play 5D chess, or what is it called? Chess 5D. Yeah, I'll do that, and that'll really annoy you guys then.
Stay tuned for next week. What the heck? It's What the Tech for this week, where we're going to bring you some lovely technology from the past or present that you can go out and buy these things, people. Honestly, we'll start making money by putting, links in the description and all that lot. But they're absolutely brilliant pieces of tech. You can't live without, I'm sure. So shall we show the guys this week's brilliant piece of tech? What do you think to this, gentlemen?
Oh my word. Okay.
It's a beaut, isn't it?
It's a thing. Okay.
It looks like a hairbrush with the bristles removed.
I was gonna
It
go down that
go on.
path, Tim. I was gonna say, like a lint remover, where you've got the, to get like the hairs and stuff off your jacket when you go into a posh do. But I don't know what this little.
If you flipped it, it looks like it's smiling. But
Okay.
I don't know. It looks sort of like a pregnancy test to me.
A pregnancy test. It could be. I mean, that's a great bit of tech, isn't it? But let's see from the descriptions that I give you, what it could possibly be. So, is it a spoon that once touched will change color to show your mood? Is it B, a piece of exercise equipment you put in your mouth to work out your facial muscles? Or is it C, part of a hairbrush that tells you if you have nits?
I know what I'm picking.
Okay, you go first, Tim, and
I'm going B.
Going B.
No doubt about it in my mind. It's a piece of exercise equipment you put in your mouth to work out your facial muscles. 100%.
Any reasoning behind that 100%? Just
100%. I know exactly what it is.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Ben, what were you thinking then, Sean?
I was thinking the same, but for diversity's sake, I'm going to go with a spoon that once touched will change color to show you your mood.
Oh my God!
Well,
if somebody bought you that as a
if you
gift,
want to go the same thing as Tim, because he seems to guess these all the time, you could be right. You're allowed to pick the same thing if you want.
If it was a spoon that changes color to show your mood, and somebody bought me that as a gift, I'd
be like, what a great bit of tech. I'm so happy you got me this.
I would rather you got me nothing. That's just such a garbage
it doesn't
idea.
mean it isn't. Just because you wouldn't like it, Tim, doesn't mean that isn't the answer. So,
if we're allowed to choose the same, I was thinking of the exercise equipment B.
I'm pretty sure that it looks like a sort of double snorkel thing that goes either side of the mouth, and there's a mouthpiece that you can't see in this image. It's B.
Well, let's take a look. Clearly, you guys have been shopping for facial stuff because it is a piece of exercise equipment.
Oh, I didn't think it'd be that big
to work out your facial muscles.
Like I say, you couldn't see the mouthpiece on the screen. Yeah, it doesn't go the way I thought. I thought it sort of curved round behind you a little bit, but no, that's
no, it's a bit. Like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I'll try. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to ask too many questions, but the guy in the picture seems like he's presenting it to someone, and presumably to his girlfriend. And he wants
he's about to use it. He's
work out the facial muscles.
Facial muscles. Look at them. He's worked out with it. Yeah.
He looks a bit like that Portuguese footballer who I can't remember the name of because I don't watch football.
The image at the bottom left. The image at the bottom left, where you got the three pictures of the lady, and there's one with her just sort of. I think that's the bit where he's explained to her why he's bought her that.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the front wing of a modern day Formula One car.
I mean, that's where my mind goes as well, really. Formula One cars. Yeah.
Do you reckon we'll start seeing these in the Olympics during the 100 meters so that they get better aero, more traction?
So, anyway, wow. Yeah, it's a piece from Japan. Surprisingly, it gives you stronger facial muscles after 2 30-second facial fitness sessions a day. It looks like an airplane. It's flying out of your mouth. so it's not very attractive. But yeah, apparently it really works and all that lot. And for people that prefer to go for Botox and other procedures and all that lot, it's a cheaper alternative and apparently works better. But you guys already knew that clearly because you could guess
Yeah.
straight away what it was. So
Strap a Formula One Formula One car front wing onto your face.
yeah, I mean that's your reasoning, Sean. You thought it was the front wing of a car. I don't know why Tim bought one, but you know, clearly.
Our conversation talking point today is, what was the thing that first turned you on to gaming? Sean, I'm going to hand over to you first. What got you into gaming?
Way back when I was a wee nipper. And we used to go on family holidays to the east coast of Great Britain, local to us, to various resorts. And we used to end up in the arcades. But back when I was very, very young, there weren't such things as your Space Invaders and things like that. It was the old like mechanical games, like Bagatelle and things like that. And that caught my eye originally with all the flashing lights and sounds and all that kind of stuff. But then they introduced things like Space Invaders and the arcade cabinets, and I was just like amazed. But the very first thing that actually got me into gaming, per se, was going around to a friend's house after school one day, and he had a ZX81. So for our younger viewers, a ZX81 was one of the first home computers published by Sinclair Research, Clive Sinclair, and it brought computing to the masses. And we went round to my friend's house and we typed in a program for about 2 hours, and we watched these blocks move along and then do various things. And I was just enthralled. I just couldn't believe that we were typing these words into the screen and the screen was responding to what we were doing. And from that moment, it was just, that's what I wanted to do. That's why it was just, I was absolutely gobsmacked by it. So consequently, I pestered my mother and father. I need a computer. I want a computer. I want a ZX81. I got a ZX81. I did a lot of programming on it. And then from there, went to the ZX Spectrum, all the way up to where we are today. So that was the very first thing. It was the ZX81, typing in your programs to do various things, very basic things. But at the time, it was mesmerizing.
Do you remember if there was like one game, like really early on, like the one game that really sort of sold playing on any kind of medium?
Yes. Yes.
What was it?
The very first game, again, was on the ZX81, and it was 3D Monster Maze. Now, if you don't know about this game, this game ran on a ZX81. It needed a 16K RAM pack.
Bloody heck.
16K. That was massive for the time. The ZX81 shipped with 1K of random access memory, which you could type your code into. This needed 16K. You loaded it in from cassette, and it was the first 3D type of game where you basically wandered around a maze trying to avoid this Tyrannosaurus Rex. And if the Tyrannosaurus Rex got you, he ate you. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Look it up.
Oh.
Look it up on YouTube.
I will do. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to be looking that up, and I'll beat whatever high score you got. Chris,
Right. Well,
how about you? What got you into it?
Well, I'm going to have to do a show and tell now because Sean's pretty much taken my answer. Because one day, living on a Welsh mountain when I was growing up, as you do, my father came back with a lovely ZX Spectrum. It's not going to show because I've got green screen. Oh no! There you go.
I
Turn
can
it that
see
way. That way.
Is
It's,
that the one, or is this one that you
That's
bought
the
through?
actual one. I've still got it.
Really?
Wow.
48K plus, is it? I believe. I'm not a great. But anyway, he came back with this lovely one. But obviously at the time, which I found out since recently, I thought he must have just bought loads of educational games and everything for us. But I think they actually did come in packs. So if it will show without doing it, we've got Learn to Read 2 I've actually got 1 to 5. They all came with it, thinking. I can
He
see
still
that he's
plays that
thinking.
now.
Parents, what we got here? We've got alphabet games. Let's not forget your capital letters. Key one there. But fortunately, in this pack, he'd also bought with some classic games. So I then, and this is obviously what got me into game. When you start playing a bit of Horace Goes Skiing,
Wow, what a game!
can't fault
Right.
it. I mean, it's
I
basically
remember that.
it's a Frogger rip-off, isn't it? Essentially, but it's absolutely amazing. And of course, the one Tim loves the most, Manic Miner.
Wow,
Absolutely,
Stupid Manic Miner.
you'd love
that
it.
is an all-time classic.
That's the old-time classic. But I was actually thinking, then what actually got me more into my sort of games after that, because they're sort of one-screen games. And the beauty was when I really started getting into gaming, when you could find out other people had these games and you could swap and borrow them and all this lot. And what I ended up with, and we ended up keeping, don't know why for some reason, sneaky, but was Chucky Egg 2. And
Wow.
Oh, Chucky Egg.
Chucky Egg, and
the
the
I
beauty,
remember
original.
Chucky Egg.
the original Chucky Egg's a sort of one screen one, but this one's got like 48 different screens. I was trying to explain it to my son fairly recently. He was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like saying it's a huge game because it's got 48 different screens, basically going around it." But yeah, you go around and collect things, and it's one of them. Obviously, more to it than just a one screen one. It was a more in depth game for its time. So yeah, that started to get me really more into my games, and obviously my puzzle games that I clearly play a lot of now. And all that lot. So yeah, so there you go. We're on the same sort of wavelength there, Sean. We'll just have to see what
Absolutely.
card game Tim's come up with, really, now, isn't it? And then we'll be
What
away.
got me into games? Well, it was a deck of cards.
Deck of cards. Good old Nintendo got a card game out. Right. Go on, Tim.
Hang on, let me do my show and tell.
Oh,
So,
I knew it. I absolutely knew it.
they're trick
Wow.
decks, you know. that isn't for playing games. That's for annoying people by going, "Hey, do you want to see a magic trick?" and them saying no, and then you showing them anyway. Actually, I don't think I started out all that early with gaming. I know that when I was younger, I was actually having a chat with my dad earlier on the phone because I wanted some information from him with regards to a video I'd quite like to do. But yeah, I was chatting with him and I brought it up. I said, I'm sure that when I used to live down in London, back when I was, before the age of 8, that we had something that we played games on, and I couldn't think for the life of me what it was. I was pretty sure that we played Pong on it. That's about as much as I remember. I had the little twist knob controllers, for playing Pong. So we think it was an Atari 2600. I was pretty sure it was an Atari, but after talking with people, I think it might be the 2600. But I don't really remember it all that well. I don't think that was what sort of drew me into playing games. I think that came later. I have two old friends. One's Bill, who I'm still very much in contact with, and one called Mike. I used to go around to Mike's house and we would play on his PC and we would play LHX Attack Chopper. But the way we used to play it is he would have his joystick and he would be flying it, and I would do all the other sort of subsystems. So I'd be on the keyboard changing things and switching weapons and that kind of stuff. And I did more or less exactly the same thing with Bill, except it was TIE Fighter. And we would, or was it X-Wing or was it TIE Fighter? I can't remember which one was the first one. It was X-Wing that was the first one. I think it might have been X-Wing.
I think X-Wing, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a 486 DX50. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. We would play, again, same. He would be on his controller joystick, whatever, and I would be like, "Oh, we need shields forwards." I'm like, "Oh, shields forwards, yeah, we can do that." And we just sort of worked as a team, co-piloting, and it was those friendships that were born out of that kind of gaming experience that showed me that gaming doesn't necessarily mean that you're not creating real world relationships and real world friendships that will possibly last the rest of your life. I was best man at Bill's wedding. We were playing this when we were like 12, 13 years old. So these things can have a lasting effect. And I think that's what the beauty of games is that you can just make a friend online where you've got a commonality, a game that you're playing together, and that can be something that sticks with you for your whole life.
Absolutely.
definitely, yeah.
I mean, apart from you guys and this card nonsense, but
Well, cards have clearly stuck with you the whole time, haven't they? But I mean,
I'll start throwing decks at you.
It's your letters. It's your letters. It's your letters. It's your letters.
So that is the end of the discussion portion of this particular soiree. Next, we're going to hand over to Sean, who has somebody to introduce.
Some say he once lit his fart on fire, and it is still known as the sun to this day. Others say he once beat a fish in an underwater breathing competition. All we know, he's the Gamesmeister.
Well, well, well. Is it that time of the week already, boys? How are you doing? Good. Okay, on to this week's viewer's letter. And this week, we have a rather interesting dilemma from a captain of a spacecraft. And it involves green ladies and people in red shirts. Let's have a look. To whom it may concern. Salutations slotted in their crew. I am vexed by a situation I find myself in. I'm not someone who normally finds himself in these types of situations. I usually take the lead and gung-ho it through to the end of the episode. Situation. However, this particular situation has me somewhat puzzled. You see, there's this green-skinned woman who I have fallen madly in love with. Her name escapes me for the moment, but believe me, she is hot. The thing is, these aliens have captured one of my crew. I'm sure he does some kind of important job on the ship, or something. I've occasionally seen him wandering around the lower decks in a red shirt, looking like he's doing something essential to the running of the ship. Now, my dilemma, slotted in their crew, is that I either have to give up the green-skinned girl and the aliens will return my crew member, or I keep the green-skinned girl and they kill my crew member. Guys, believe me, when I tell you this green-skinned girl does things that would make your toenails curl and question the Lord Jeebus Christ himself. I do not want to give that up easily. My friend and colleague, let's call him Spack for legal reasons, tells me, Captain, release the girl and recover our crew member at the earliest opportunity. But he wouldn't know love if he tied him up with spandex and slapped him on the ass with a wet tribble. Help me, team. JTK. So, what do we think, boys? Should our space captain friend carry on in the pursuit of love? Or should he give it all up and rescue his colleague from the clutches of the alien hordes? There's only one way to find out, and as we all know, it's by playing video games. And this week, it will be Damion. Damion, your challenge this week is to play Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to reach the police station using only the knife as your weapon. Can you do it? Let's find out. Engage!
Well, it's my turn to take on the Gamesmeister's challenge to resolve our captain's beautiful letter with a great conundrum. Personally speaking, I would rather go and rescue my teammate, my compatriot. It's definitely a bruise before her situation. So, without further ado, let's get into this. And let's see if we can actually sort this out for them. Let's go. Ooh, go around the outside. You can't catch me. Ooh! Ooh! There's another one. So we've made it to the gun shop. No issues so far. Let's see what happens next. Although what I have just realised is we have the gun automatically selected, which I think we need to go into the inventory to sort that problem.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
He's a bit
Hold your
intense.
fire! I'm a human!
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Looks like this cutscene is not
I thought you were
skippable.
one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on.
It's
I
not
don't have a
breakfast.
clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
Oh no. Peter Griffith's got a mustache. I'd like to leave, please. Wait. So before we go any further, inventory, select the knife, equip. Job's good. Ooh, that sounds like that's a problem for him. Anyway. Need to do... There we go, the trigger event. Let's moonwalk a little bit. Drag pose. Yeah. And stab. 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 No, 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 no touchy. Turn and run. Oh, there's 3 of them now. Oh, he's getting back up. Oh, no, 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 no. Right, whilst they're all down, can I get past? I can indeed. Oh, there's another one. Oof. This is getting tight. Run, Leon. Down some stairs, up some stairs. This could be tight. This could be very tight. Can I? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Stand back, woman. Oh dear. This is not looking good. This is looking almost like desperation. It's not even got to the halfway point yet of getting to the Raccoon Police Department. This is where it's all going to end terribly bad. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop. There we go. No, 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 no. Run, Leon, run. Ooh. Made it through the coach. Let's see what happens next. No, no. No, 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 no. Open the gate, open the gate. Oh, it's in touching distance. Roar. Let's go down the stairs. Might not have been the best idea. Dodge one. Get up the stairs, Leon. Come on, son. You can do it. And that's the police department. Welcome to Raccoon City PD. Get in. Looks like our captain, is going to be going, forgetting the lady, and going to pick up his mates. What a result.
So what do you think he did there, guys? I mean, he obviously beat Chandler. I think he did really well. He did pretty good, Damion.
He did. He did indeed. Smashed it.
Man knows his Resident Evil, that's for sure.
He knows how to go about dodging and killing zombies, doesn't he, really, this man? So, and obviously, he beat the challenge. He did it right. So that means Kirk should go and save those red shirts, shouldn't they? And
Yeah,
leave
should-
the lady alone.
He should give the green-skinned alien up and go and get his crew members back. That's what he should do.
Which is lovely. I think that as well. Look after your team. Look after each other. Unless they play card games, then just abuse them.
Ooh.
And that's the end of the show. I hope you enjoyed joining us 4 horsemen. Well, 3 of us, because, Damion wasn't here. Def actually did try and get him, but he's okay. He'll be all right for the next week, I'm sure. Anyway, riding through the world of tech and enjoying, the brilliant things that we saw along the way, apart from card games. What do you need to remember, Tim?
Oh, well, you probably want to like and subscribe.
And don't forget to tickle that bell.
Leave a comment.
I was just
like
waiting for you.
comments.
Leave a comment and all that lot. But we got there in the end. Brilliant. Excellent. We have to say thank you very much to
Flawless
obviously
execution.
Sean for filling in for Damion. I'm sure he'll be back anyway in the future when someone else is ill.
Yes, thank you for putting up with me, guys. It's been a pleasure.
And of course, we'll try and end on an inspirational quote, as always now. So this time I picked something from Leonardo da Vinci. And he said, "The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art." And I think we can all agree, Damion was showing that in his video where he stomped on that zombie's head.
No. Stomp. There we go.
What a work of art the foot is. And on that blue screen of death, that's the end of the show. And we'll see you next week. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're really trying my patience. I didn't even get that out. Just end on that.